Cooper Mercher here. Well, happy Saturday, everybody. I almost forgot that. Well, here's a story for you animal and motorcycle lovers. A biker sees a man beating a dog on the highway, so he rescues the canine and makes him his new co-pilot. While he saw what was going on, he knew he had to step in. So 2 years ago on Valentine's Day, biker Brandon Turnbow showed how much love was in his heart when he stopped everything to save a little dog who was being abused. Turnbow was riding his motorcycle down Highway 171 in Texas, and he was planning to meet his dad for a day of bike riding. As Turnbow cruised down the highway, he saw a cruel man beating up a little Jack Russell Terrier. Turnbow was shocked, and he quickly decided to give the guy a piece of his mind. But before he could say anything, the man threw the dog onto the curb and drove away. The little dog was hurt and scared, and Turnbow knew he couldn't just leave him there. Turnbow slowly approached the dog, who was shivering. Turnbow was afraid the dog was going to run into traffic, but thankfully he didn't move. I took a chance and just folded my body over him to see if he would bite me or trust me. Turnbow wrote on Facebook. He then laid his body into me, shaking, so I just stand up with him in my arms and sit him on the bike seat. I was thinking, now what? Turnbow knew he had to move very quickly, but he didn't want to scare the dog even more. So before he went back on the road, he turned on the motorcycle to help the pup get used to the vibrations. Once the dog seemed comfortable, Turnbow put the little Jack Russell into his bag. When he saw the dog's big eyes looking at him, he immediately fell in love. I watched my rear view and saw this guy throw the dog into the curb side and drove off. I went after the guy to just give him a number 1 sign, Brandon said on Facebook, and I now have a co-pilot. Meet Mr. Davidson. Turnbow named the dog Mr. Davidson after his Harley Davidson motorcycle, and he took the pup home with him that very day. Luckily, Mr. Davidson loved riding on Turnbow's motorcycle with him. I tried to look back as much as I could to see if the dog was trying to move around or not, and surprisingly, he liked riding. So we had about a 45-mile ride back to my place, and Mr. Davidson was in heaven. I think he was a little mad at times that I was blocking his wind so that he didn't get as much wind as me. The 10-year-old dog quickly settled into life at Turnbow's house and fell in love with his new dad. Turnbow loved Mr. Davidson just as much as the dog loved him. He even wrote a sweet song about the pup. 2 years after being rescued, Mr. Davidson is still as happy as can be with Turnbow. They love sitting in front of the fire together after a long day of work. Turnbow was thankfully in the right place at the right time, and because of that, he was able to rescue this little dog who had no one else in the world. I'm so glad these two found each other, and I'm so thankful there are people out there like Brandon. Cooper Mercher here. Ciao. Oh, and have a good weekend.